Philippi Ryan. I'm your host for this session. Quickly, I'm the USA Today bestselling author of The Murder List, which just won the Anthony for Best Novel of the Year.
Congratulations!
And for the casually displayed The First to Lie, which is now nominated for the Mary Higgins Clark Award. So I am thrilled. Let me introduce you to our four wonderful authors and two moderators this evening. Patti Callahan Henry, wave Patti, is the New York Times bestselling author of Becoming Mrs. Lewis. She was awarded the Harper Lee Distinguished Writer of the Year, and her new book, Surviving Savannah, about the Titanic of the South, comes out March 9th. That book, you can't even touch that. It is so hot off the press.
I know.
That's beautiful. Congratulations on that. And thank you for coming before your pub date. It's very exciting.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome. Caroline Leavitt. Welcome, Caroline.
Hi.
Is the New York Times best-selling authors of Pictures of You, Is This Tomorrow, Cruel, Beautiful World, and With or Without You. Hold that baby up again, With or Without You. She is also a book critic and co-founder of A Mighty Blaze, which is an amazing organization which was put together to sort of save the poor authors whose book tours were canceled when the pandemic hits. And A Mighty Blaze is still underway. I urge you to go to their Facebook page and see all of their marvelous events. They talk to everyone, and Caroline and Jenna Bloom have worked tirelessly for A Mighty Blaze, and we have all benefited from that. So we're so grateful. Marjan Kamali, Marjan, welcome, is the novelist and teacher whose work has been anthologized, broadcast on BBC Radio 4, and adapted for the stage. She is the author of the best-selling novels The Stationery Shop and Together Tea, both of which explore love and loss, identity and immigration, and the quirks of fate. What a beautiful cover. You're always so color coordinated with the cover. It looks so nice. Yeah, it's great. Marjan is about 3 miles from me, so I think I could just yell and we could talk. Hallie Ephron is a New York Times bestselling author, an Edgar Award finalist, and a 5-time finalist for the Mary Higgins Clark Award. Whoa. Her newest suspense novel, Careful What You Wish For, was called Outstanding in a starred Publishers Weekly review and Thrilling and Suspenseful in Jamie Lee Curtis's review in Time magazine, which was pretty awesome. Any author would love to open Time magazine and see somebody say, I love your book, and I'm Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh my golly. So that was a moment. I do remember that. Our moderators for this evening, Robin Agnew, wave Robin. Robin Agnew owned Aunt Agatha's Books in Ann Arbor for 26 years, absolutely a mecca, a necessity for mystery authors, and we still rely on her reviews. She now writes the very original cozy column for Mystery Scene magazine. Thank you for being with us tonight. And Janet Rudolph, wave Janet, is the editor of Mystery Readers Journal. She blogs daily at mysteryfanfare.com and dyingforchocolate.com, facilitates a weekly mystery book group, hosts literary salons with mystery authors, and has organized numerous mystery conventions. So you can see why we invited Janet and Robin to moderate with us tonight. That is just super extra wonderful. Yes, exactly. So now, as always, we will start with a quick round of 20 questions. We have these fancy backroom question cards.
Oh, fun.
Questions on them. Is that not great? Karen put these together and they are beautiful and fantastic. All right, so we'll start. They'll just be about 3 questions each. So Caroline, let me start with you. What I know, scary, and so you're very brave. What is the capital of Belize? No, that's never mind. That's not.
Oh my God, I was about to log off.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
It just sort of came to me, and then so never mind. Forget it. What is the best thing that's ever happened to you today? I know not that I didn't ask you what
today?
The capital of Belize was, but what's the best thing that happened to you today?
Okay, I stopped drinking coffee for a month because I wanted to see if I felt better, and I did not. So today I got to have coffee in the morning, and you know what? It's just as wonderful as it always was, and I'm never going to do something that stupid again, like stop drinking it.
Wow, you are brave. And yes, that first cup of coffee, there's just nothing like that. That's fantastic. Marjan, what fictional character would you want to spend a day with?
Ooh, you know,
The first person who comes to my mind is Miss Havisham. I have a lot of questions for her. I feel that she's a little bit underrated. I get my girl. I get why she's kind of hung up, and I would just want to hang out with her and touch her ratty old wedding dress.
And find out the scoop of what happened and why she decided to do what that's it. I'm not going to sort of swipe this, but that's a really interesting book idea if nobody's thought of that before. And forget you heard it, okay? Just all of you, forget you heard it. Okay. Patti, what is the last book you read that made you cry?
Last book I read that made me cry. That would be Kristen Harmel's last book, and why that made
Is that
me
the Book
cry.
of Lost Names?
Yes,
Yeah, that
the
is.
Book of Lost Names. That was the last book that I put it down and had actual tears on my face.
Oh, well, we should call her and tell her that. You told her that, right? How much it
Oh
touched her.
gosh, yes.
The Book of Lost Names. Wonderful. Hallie, where did you grow up and how did that affect you?
Oh gosh, I grew up in Beverly Hills and it made me never want to go back. I hope there's nobody on the phone on the call right now who lives there. I felt like a fish out of water. Too much, just not grounded enough.
But it's interesting because I know you have some stories about that. Tell me about the person really quickly who came to your door and sang.
Oh, well, my parents were screenwriters and my father was working briefly with, oh, come on, who played the Scarecrow in
Ray Bolger.
Ray Bolger. Ray Bolger came to the door because he was working with my dad. And I opened the door and he started singing Once in Love with Amy. And Amy is my sister's name. And that's what always happens to me is people introduce me as Nora or Amy or Delia. And I'm always the other sister.
Oh, but we got you tonight. We got you, Hallie. We introduced you as Hallie. Okay, that's hilarious. Caroline, what's the first thing that you remember writing?
Oh, it was in second grade. I actually have a copy of it. It was called Adventure with a Lion. And it was about a little girl who goes to the zoo and she happens to have a lion gets out and walks up to her, but lucky for her, she has cookies in her pocket. And she gave it to the lion and they became friends.
Oh, so which reminds us to always have cookies. That's
Oh yes, always have cookies.
Marjan, are you a morning person or a night person?
Ooh, I used to be a night person, but with each passing year, that just goes away. So even though I consider this night right now, like this is my nighttime, and then usually by 9 p.m., I get really excited to wear my pajamas. So I guess I'm a morning person now.
That's great. Well, some people are wearing pajamas now, so you're in good company. Patti, is your desk messy or tidy?
Oh, my desk is messy. It is a constant goal to have it look like a photograph.
Yes.
And it is the one thing I do when I finish a book. The first thing I do as soon as I hit that, I mean, we know it's never over, but that first time you send it off, I clean off my desk. And then I say, it's going to stay this way, but it never, it's very messy.
Hallie, you're getting the geography questions. What is a favorite place you have?
I'm a birder, a bird watcher. So my favorite places are anywhere in the morning, or the earlier the better, near sunrise, to be sitting at the seashore or in a forest or overlooking a pond and waiting for the birds to start calling and then seeing if you can spot them getting the glass out. That's my favorite thing to do. Lovely. That's so. Caroline, what was your favorite book as a child?
Oh, Harriet the Spy by is it Louise Fitzhugh? Is that I'm getting her name wrong? I loved it. She was a brave, bold girl, and she carried a notebook. What could be better? Totally my heroine.
It's so funny because my name is Harriet, but I was too old. I'm too old, so I missed Harriet the Spy. And I bet if I hadn't been, I would have called myself Harriet. I mean, it was a life-changing
It
thing.
is cool.
I love that book. Marjan, what book made you want to be a writer?
Ooh, oh my gosh.
That's a good one.
It's going to sound strange if I say this because I read these books as a child, but it was the Bronte sisters. I read them kind of young. Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights. I read them when I was 10 or 11. They were the only books my mom had in English, and I would just gobble them up. And Pride and Prejudice made me want to be a writer.
Oh, wonderful. You can see that in your books too. Okay, Patti, high school. Love it or hate it?
I hated it. I moved a lot when I was young. So I went to 2 or 3 different, between 8th and 12th grade. The minute I walked into college, I was like, oh, yeah. I do not have nostalgia for high school at all.
I wonder how many of us do. I hated it too. It's really, but we all turned out fine. And finally, Hallie, when do you feel the most creative?
Oh, usually in the bathtub. I don't know what it is about creativity, but I always get my best ideas when I can't possibly write them down. In the shower, in the bathtub, while I'm frying chicken, those are the best. Something about disconnecting the brain from the keyboard.
Maybe so, because you have no pressure. You have no pressure at that moment.
You're just, yeah.
Well, thank you all for being such good sports about the 20 questions. I love them. It really sort of makes me feel that I'm really getting to know you a little bit more in the weirdest of ways. So anyway, we had also asked our authors tonight to choose one book, and I know this is the hardest thing in the world, to recommend for all of you to read, a book they love. So let me start with Caroline. What book are you recommending tonight? And we will put this in the chat so you don't have to remember.
This is The Kindest Lie by Nancy Johnson. It's absolutely amazing. It's about a educated, well-off Black engineer who goes back to her old hometown to find the child she was forced to give up when she was 16. It's about race and class and family and motherhood. It'll make you cry in the best way. And it's just brilliantly written. I love this book. Love this book.
And thank you. And for all of you who are here tonight, you heard it here first. Nancy will be here in the back room coming up in the next several months. So don't miss that. Caroline, you can be here to cheer her on. Marjan,
I will.
what are you recommending?
Well, I'm recommending a book by a young debut author. Her name is Jennifer Dupee. This is the galley copy because it's not out yet.
Oh.
It will be out in a month. You can pre-order it. It's called The Little French Bridal Shop. And it's about a young woman who passes this gorgeous wedding dress in the window of a shop and is just compelled to go in. And before she knows it, she's told the shop owner she's planning a wedding and is due to be married. And then she's told the whole town that there is no groom. But it's about facing your fears. What she's really avoiding is seeing her mother who's suffering from Alzheimer's. And it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous book about grief and healing and facing the difficult aspects of our lives. The Little French Bridal Shop. Highly recommend it.
Patti, what are you recommending tonight?
Well, I'm thinking about that bridal shop, but that sounds so good. And I've already read The Kindest Lie. It's extraordinary. The book I want to talk about is Paula McLean's When the Stars Go Dark. And it comes out in a month. And you all probably know Paula from her historical fiction of real women. She wrote The Paris Wife and Circling the Sun. And her last one was Love and Ruin, about Hemingway's third wife. But this is a total departure. And it's a thriller, and it's about a missing girl. And for those of you who know her work, she was a poet before she was a novelist. And her work is just extraordinary. And this book just swept me completely away. I can't wait for the world to read it.
Very exciting. Thank you. Hallie, what about you?
I think my choice says more about me than it does about the book. I'm listening to it. It's by Anthony Horowitz. It's called The Word is Murder. And I write not classic mysteries. I write suspense, but I love to think about how books are structured, how authors get into the story and unravel, especially in a mystery. It's a very, you know what the story is, but how you reveal it is what makes the magic. And he is writing about writing while he's telling a mystery. And for me, it's very meta. It's very cerebral, but I love it. And both of the main characters are execrable men who you never want to run into in a bar. They're just really not very pleasant. And yet the book is completely fascinating, full of clues and red herrings. And so for people who love a traditional mystery, it's a meaty read. And I love that he's the main character. He really, Anthony Horowitz is the main character.
I love this book. I completely agree with you. I love it. It's hilarious and clever and fast and terrific. He wrote Foyle's War. He's a great guy.
He wrote the Midsummer Murder on TV, and it's hilarious. I love it.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded, because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.